who was in Jamaica, and she pulled up to Tariq Nasheed's TikTok stream, and she had a particular ask.
I am okay. Not everyone is safe, but I am okay as it regards to like safety and that kind of stuff. Don't mind what I'm wearing right now. I was just trying to entertain to see what I can raise, but it's not going well so far. So I was trying to like add a few persons and ask if there is anyone that can donate to our PayPal so we can get some assistance. As you can see, there is no light. I'm currently using a candle and there's no water. It's kind of really hard out here, but
Okay, thank you. You got to go to some of the Jamaican spaces, dear.
Peace, you know who this is. First and foremost, I want to shout out to my new channel members. Shout out to Clay Cooper, my first channel member. Shout out to Josh Sticks, my newest channel member. You can become a channel member by joining the channel. And if you don't want to do that, you can also support the channel by PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Thanks. Don't use the Super Thanks if you don't want people to see a comment. Also, you can donate to me just because you want to support the channel, or if you want me to make something for you, I'll do that too. But anyway, let's get into this video right here. Oshay Duke Jackson, the bozo. But first, I want to say this. The clip I played first, I believe Tariq paid that lady to do that because she is Jamaican, but she's like a controversial like TikToker in Jamaica. So I believe Tariq threw her some dollars to do that. And there might have been a lot of clout chasing in that too, because it's like it doesn't make any sense. Why, of all people to ask for money, you're gonna ask Tariq? And it's just like, oh, I'm okay, but we're all bad. We're doing real bad out here. We're not getting any donations. So can you? I want to see. Can you donate and help us and save us? Of all people to ask that question to, why would you ask that to Tariq? But anyway. All the FBA goofballs is making it seem like Jamaicans are now begging them for help. When, again, that's one person who I believe Tariq paid to do that, or just did it for clout or GP. But we're going to get into what this meat-eating bozo, Oshay Duke Jackson, has to say in co-signing it and trying to make it sound like what Tariq did right there was right and exact. Let's say, for example, that lady really did need help, and Tariq did that. Let's just play Oshay Duke Jackson.
All of this development about how good they're doing, how successful they are. Okay, well, since you're Jamaican, then your community needs to step up and provide for you so that you can get what you need. It wouldn't be our responsibility. And to be honest, that is actually the right thing to do. The Jamaicans have the money to help her. They have a lot of money. They have all sorts of things. And what it forces is for you to take care of your own group and police your own group. And then when you want to work with another group in the black world, you're forced to build value for that.
Okay. That didn't make any sense. That didn't make any sense. It goes against everything it means to be black in America. See, this is the thing I always say about y'all. Y'all will try to hide, y'all will promote xenophobia and hate, but then try to hide behind regular black people. Regular black people help other black people. That's what we do. But then when people point out that you guys are bigots and haters and you don't do anything for anybody, you'll then try to turn around and say, well, look at all this track record of black people helping black people. You're not a part of that track record, bro. That's one. Two, you said something about every group got to look out for their own. What have you done to help all the black people who didn't get their EBT this month? What are you doing to help all the black people who were fired from their jobs because of Donald Trump? What are you doing to help all those black federal workers who now have to go to work and are not being paid because of Donald Trump? What are you doing to help them? Again, not one video to help those people, not one donation drive to help those people. They are hurting bad, real bad. But you're not seeing it because the news media is not covering them because they don't care about them. See, that's another thing that's going on, which I said was going to happen, that black people are going to do real bad under Trump, But they're not going to cover the black people doing bad. They're going to cover everybody else. And y'all going to pretend like the black community ain't really suffering because the news ain't showing no black people. But then it's going to come a time when social media is going to be showing all the black people suffering. And then the news is going to cover it. And then you're going to cry and make it seem like this is something racial. And what about and why the Democrats ain't doing nothing? That's what you're going to do. You guys are goofballs. O'Shea, you are the biggest meat eater of Tariq Nasheed ever. You got bullied into being his personal throat goat. Like you his personal eater right now. Every other video is you meat riding this dude. And you doing that because he threatened to roast you. That's how cowardly and weak you are. Matter of fact, I'm going to play that clip of you being threatened to roast, being roasted, and then you capitulating to Tariq like a hoe.
That video is from that dude, that O'Shea dude. And O'Shea, and the people have been saying you've been taking little shots. You've been, kind of playing the fence. O'Shea, I know you're listening. O'Shea, don't poke the bear. O'Shea, don't poke the bear, brother. You way too easy. O'Shea, I know you're listening, brother. Don't play with me, bro. You way too easy, my nigga. Way too easy, bro. I already know you get down, bro. You too easy for me, man. You need to let that go, man. Don't poke the bear, bro. You keep poking the fucking bear, and a chunk gonna get snatched right out that ass, bro. Don't play. You way too easy, brother. All right. You poking the bear. You pushing it. O'Shea, you pushing it. Man. I'm hearing little things here and there because I don't really watch what you do, brother. But don't poke the bear, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Nigga, when I say a motherfucker's way too easy, bro. For my type of petty, way too easy, brother. Way too easy. And I'm warning you once. I warned niggas one time.
Y'all saw that whole shit that he did. Straight hoe. That's Oshay Duke Jackson. But we're going to continue on and let him talk a little bit more. I ain't make it this far into the video, so I ain't hear the rest of this. So let me see what he got to say now.
That particular group, you're not coming in, being a burden on somebody else's community. And unfortunately, if you're down on hard times and something that's happened to you, and I can understand that, but you're coming in as a burden to somebody else. And I can tell you as a black American,
how is somebody who's suffering from a natural disaster coming in as a burden to somebody else? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. When you're saying somebody's a burden, you're implying that these are some good for nothing people who just leeching off people. Somebody whose house burned down in a fire, who needs some food, who needs somebody to help them pay for a hotel room, is not being a burden. This person is just messed up right now because of an unforeseen tragedy that happened. Because before that tragedy, they wasn't asking nobody for nothing. And after they just need some help to get through the tragedy, and then they'll be back on their feet and they ain't gotta ask nobody for nothing. So I'm not getting this. I'm not getting this. And again, what are you doing for all those black people who are suffering right now? Like all this is just like power fantasy nonsense that y'all fantasizing about having power over other black people and being able to tell them no and teach them a lesson, and because we so strong and we doing so good. This is just fantasy, while ignoring the reality that the black community is hurting right now. How many black people have directly or indirectly lost their job because of Donald Trump? How many black people are being forced to go to work right now, are not being paid because of Donald Trump? How many people have a lower standard of living because of Donald Trump? How many people are not having Thanksgiving or Christmas because of Donald Trump? No New Year's, none of that because of Donald Trump. I also believe Trump is going to make it his business not to make sure nobody get no income tax checks next year either, too. How many people are going hungry because they got no EBT? What about the other people who lost their cash assistance? What about December that's coming up? What about Project 2025, where they trying to put people out of their house who are on like Section 8 or live in the projects? Y'all not putting together no resources to help those people. We know for a fact at least 12 million people, black people, are being affected by this government shutdown with the food stamps. We know hundreds of thousands of more black people, millions, are being shut down because you have federal workers and remember, the black middle class was built by the federal government, and a lot of federal government jobs are middle class jobs. So you got a lot of people who was living in households with a single income based on that federal job that was taking care of a wife and kids or taking care of a husband and kids. All of them have been affected. So we know hundreds of thousands of workers have been affected, and we see that they probably have hundreds of thousands, if not over 1 million, of their family members that have been affected. What are you doing to help these people? And not including, again, the people who lost their job. That's another couple hundred thousands of people. Pretty much like a third of the black community has been directly affected by this situation with Trump right now. In the holiday season, during the cold months when you got to run that heat. What are you doing for them? You worrying about Jamaicans, all right? You don't care about Jamaicans. You don't care about other black people. That's cool. That's fine. What are you doing to help the black people in need right now? What are you doing? Not including all the black people who are suffering environmental racism because now they letting people just pollute like crazy in black communities. What about them? What are you doing to help them? You know the black community is dying right now, right? That the black birth rate is pretty much just as low as the white birth rate, and the black death rate is higher than the white death rate. So the black community is like dying right now. What are you doing to help stop that? What are you doing to help reverse that? But anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. Like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment, tell me what you think. Thank you for making it to the end. I'm not playing no more of this Oshay Duke Jackson goofball. He's too corny. He's too lame. Also, give this video a hype point. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell. Again, become a channel member. If you don't want to become a channel member, you can donate. PayPal, Cash App, super thanks. Also, if you become a channel member, try not to do it through your iPhone because I just found out, I looked it up, I got to make a video about that they charge you more to become a channel member through the iPhone than if you just did it on a computer. And they don't give me no extra money out of that. They charge you more, but they don't. But they keep that extra charge in their own pocket. Email me, follow me on all my social media sites. Links will be in the description box below in the pinned comment. And on that note, family, peace.